Morning. I haven't really done an update in a little bit. I had a rough drive home last night. I think that, she drove to work fine. And then on the way home, she started doing some weird stuff. And it didn't throw a code as I was driving. And of course, it was doing it. And then it started to downpour, which my child broke my windshield wiper the other day. It still works, but it's one of those could fall off at any moment. And anyway, then we got home. I finally got home. So nerve-wracking. My husband turned it off and then turned it back on, and then it threw a code. So I'm guessing that we have a bad injector. Yay! So that's what every diesel owner wants to do, is put injectors in this weekend. I have a lot of wonderful stuff that I get to. Quick flash. So this week, and getting into what we're going to be working on this whole week. I keep saying it because in my brain we're almost there, but also in my brain is we're not there yet. I get it. I was like, we're almost there, and my kids are like, you've been saying that for 6 months. I have, because I feel like we're almost there. They scraped a pad, so the rules in our county are that we get 2 free electrical poles go to whomever is building. So if we just say, hey, we're just going to put a camper here, you're not building anything, so then you have to pay for them. Well, we're going to put a camper there for now, but we're building. So in order to get our 2 free poles, we have to scrape the pad where our house is going to be and kind of start the process. So the boys have been over there because it's going to cost me $600 to rent a skid loader for 8 hours, and it wouldn't, with a skid loader, it would probably take me an hour. It's not like it's a huge house. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, basement. It's not basement. It doesn't have to be crawl space, pour ready. It just has to be started. And it would take probably an hour to do that with a skid loader. Well, it's taken us about 4 days with 2 guys and shovels, but it's definitely, you got to do what you got to do. So people will sit there and be like, I don't have $600. Guess what? I don't either. And now that I need new injectors, I really don't have $600. Thank the Lord that at least my humans can change the injectors themselves, and I don't have to pay somebody to do that, because damn. But that is what we're doing on this week. So tonight, I think we're actually going to get a week clear of too much rain. And so tonight, garden is a little bit of a mess. We are going, not we, I say we, and then my children point out, that doesn't include you, Mom. It does not. I will be sewing today. And then I will take a couple hours in the evening to update YouTube, work on some videos, stuff like that. And then the boys will be going over, and they scraped kind of all of it, but they need to kind of rake then the dead grass off and put it in a pile over in the corner. That'll get done. He's talking to the electrical guy today because we also have to put in for an electrical permit, which I think costs like $35, but they don't come out to your place to do anything unless you have a permit. He came out and he gave us advice type of thing. But they won't just, you can't call them up and say, hey, we're ready, come out. Because if it doesn't have a permit, they won't do it. So that is the next thing. But I think in order to get them to come out to put in electricity, I think that we have to have the main, our main panel in. And I can kind of show you what it looks like. So on this pole over here, all out of that electrical stuff, we had to pay for that. We actually bought the pole and set it ourselves, and then they just came in for their $35. They just came in and hooked it up. Actually, it cost us more than that because they came in the first time. The first guy said it was okay. Then the Duck River, the actual power people said it was okay, and then the local electrical codes guy came in. He's like, oh no, this is not okay. You can't do this. And we're like, well, the power company said we could. Anyway, so then we had to change it. So then when you change something, then you have to, again, put in for another permit so that they come back out and check it again. So we did that, and that's where we're at. We are almost there. And then I'm hoping electrical will get in still yet by the end of the month. Depends on if we can find all the electrical pieces very easily. And then after that, see where I was dripping. The next step is we can start moving stuff. Oh, I lied. We have a well. We need to buy a well pump. And not only do we need a well pump, but we have to have somebody, I think, that sets it for us, because the new well is so deep. I don't think we can set it ourselves. I just now noticed on this tree over here, we were talking about this part of the where you can follow that line. I just now noticed there's one up there too. Huh. Ooh, we're losing some, that thing's coming down sooner rather than later, so we better get out of here before it does come down, because I can't afford to bring it down, and it'll just land on more trees and a house and all kinds of stuff. So there's where we at. This is why I work so much, because we have to.